It's Conduit News Radio with Paul Harrell.
YouTube as well. If you go to the YouTube channel, just make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell for notifications. We would appreciate that.
We really want to be discriminated against.
Yes, we want to get to the point where YouTube discriminates against us for our conservative beliefs.
Where our videos get monetized and then they get demonetized.
We want to be demonetized.
That's exactly
we
what
want to
we
not
want.
make money.
Yeah,
Because
we
of our
we want to operate at a
conservative
loss.
beliefs. Yes, exactly. Joe, I'm glad that you're here because it is time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the Conduit for Action weekly quiz. Corporate welfare is alive and well in Arkansas. Incentive packages from the state, county, and local level are reaching historic numbers. Generally, corporate welfare is the giving of taxpayer money to private companies or not requiring businesses to pay their full fair share of taxes owed. Corporate welfare does not work. It distorts the economy. It puts current Arkansas businesses that do pay their full fair share of taxes at a competitive disadvantage to companies who are being subsidized by the taxpayers. In effect, the Arkansas small businesses are having their tax dollars work against them. We'll be taking a quiz on this information and more today on the program. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Joe, kind of a little bit of a recap. Last week on the Conduit for Action quiz, we did it on a Friday instead of a Thursday. Your score was, what, an 80-something?
It was like an 86.
An 86. So you did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
you
2 weeks in a row, I missed one question.
You only got one question wrong, and it had to do with the Citizens United case. What was it over the airing of? And you said it was over a movie about John McCain, and it was actually a movie that was critical of Hillary Clinton. So it was pretty good. You did a good job there. All right, so let's start with question number one. Joe, you'll be taking the quiz. How much money did FMH Conveyors, LLC in Jonesboro receive for, quote, infrastructure and equipment, end quote, from Governor Asa Hutchinson's Quick Action Closing Fund? Was it A, $25,000, B, $200,000, or C, $1 million? Think it out now.
I don't even know.
Well, you could go with your normal
I could go with my normal
deductive skills, but somebody might be trying to mess with you.
I could deploy my normal strategy.
I think they now carefully craft this quiz trying to put themselves in your shoes because you're the one that takes it publicly for everybody to watch and listen to. And, unfortunately, Joe, we're going to need an answer. We're out of time. That sound means that we're out of time. So what do you think? Is it $25,000, $200,000, or $1 million? $1 million.
I'm going to go with $1 million.
Going with $1 million, going with that high figure, going with that high number strategy. I see what you're doing there. Question number two, what was the purpose of the $275,000 that Brian E. Keith Foods in North Little Rock received from the Governor's Quick Action Closing Fund? A, parking lot paving, B, training, or C, energy efficiency improvements? I don't think you're going to do very well on this one.
I don't think I am either.
This is actual.
At this point, I'm just like hoping that I get the right answer.
Well, I'm curious. Okay, let's think about this. I would just maybe think about it and what would be the most outrageous. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, what would be the most
parking lot?
Because the whole.
Well, actually, no, that's the most practical.
I got a feeling that this is it's kind of about a waste of money, in a way. So what are we helping these companies do? Training, energy efficiency improvements, or parking lot paving?
See, I have a different priority on these things because the parking lot paving I don't see as a big deal because I don't want to drive around in my parking lot at work and I don't want to hit a pothole at work.
Well, I mean, you and State Representative Dan Douglas would get along well together then.
Excuse me, I need to change. I need to change from
a chug
potholes
hole
to chug hole.
A chug hole. As I was staring there, I was going to the bathroom, as we all do, and I was staring at the wall, and I heard a voice beside me, and that voice said, I always like to have a attractive woman sitting beside me, just for the record. All right, so.
Whose bed have your boots been under?
Any woman that wears a mate dress, I got a lot of respect for. All right, so what do you think, Joe? Was it for parking lot paving, was it for training, or was it for energy efficiency improvements?
Oh, let's just go with parking lot paving.
All right.
I feel like that's
parking lot paving.
Training makes sense, and then energy efficiency improvements make sense.
Yeah, I think my Dan Douglas insult did the trick. Push you over the edge to select that answer. Question 3, which company in Fort Smith received $2 million from the Governor Asa Hutchinson's Quick Action Closing Fund for site preparation and construction? Was it
so want to pick FFH?
Was it FFH Construction, which that would be convicted Jake Files' seat company?
I so want to pick that.
Was it B, Central Business Improvement District of Fort Smith, or C, Arc Best Corporation? Which company in Fort Smith received $2 million from Asa Hutchinson? What do you think? Just take your time.
Based off what it's saying, site prep and construction, and I don't know anything about the other two, I would pick the one that has construction in its name, because Central Business Improvement District just doesn't scream construction to me, which it could. I don't know. And then ArcBest, I don't even know what ArcBest is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to go with FFH Construction.
Okay.
Because why not?
Going with the Jake Files company, I think that's a good guess. I mean, why would anybody think, if you're just guessing on this one, there's no one that's going to say, well, that's a bad guess.
Yeah.
Question number 4. How much money did Mortis Pater Pictures receive for film production from Governor Asa Hutchinson's Quick Action Closing Fund? Was it $10,000? Was it $57,000? Or $144,000?
What did this dude produce?
I have no idea.
I want to know.
I'm going to have to Google some of this stuff, but this is fascinating. A lot of people didn't know this. This is a lot of spending from the governor.
Which is normal.
You know, I'm sure it just gets rubber stamped by the Arkansas Legislative Council. Sure, it doesn't get the 3/4 needed in each chamber to actually appropriate and spend money. Because, of course, every Arkansan voted for Republicans because they wanted film projects to be government subsidized. That was a huge issue. It has been ever since, 2008.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with the highest monetary value on this one. We wasted so much money on a program that
what's $144,000, you know?
Wasn't the program that we were going to use that we didn't end up using because of whatever reason? What is it, like $200
software? Yeah, $200 million.
Yeah, what's $200 million compared to $144,000? Come on.
Yep. Drop of the bucket. Question number 5. Which companies have received over $2 million in Governor Asa Hutchinson's Quick Action Closing Fund? Which company or companies? Gladfelter Advanced Materials in Fort Smith, Big River Steel in Osceola or Mississippi County, Remington Arms Company in Lonoke, or all of the above.
Considering that I know that the governor likes to hunt, Remington probably got $2 million because that's.
Oh, you mean
I'll protect your Second Amendment rights?
But you got because the rights of hunting. Yeah, you see the commercials. Yeah,
I've seen the commercials. Yeah. And then Big River Steel,
hunting, Second Amendment.
He's been working on Big River Steel for years. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with all of the above.
All of the above? Yeah.
All of the above.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, these last ads were it wasn't so much about hunting. When he was running against Jan Morgan, see, when he ran the first time, his Second Amendment ads were with hunting rifles. When he ran the second time, he switched to a pistol for some reason.
And awkwardly held it.
You know, it might have something to do with he was running against a gun range firearms instructor who just, by the way, Jan Morgan, we talked about this in the first hour, she stood up to the liberal progressives on CNN and stood up for liberty and the Bill of Rights on CNN, which is, when's the last time that's happened? You can only hope that when stuff like that happens, maybe there's somebody out there watching who gets I don't know, woken up,
Gets woke.
Yeah, from their sleepy fake news CNN binge. All right, question number 6. How much money has been spent in total from the governor's Quick Action Closing Fund since its inception in 2007? $42 million, $97 million, $176 million.
It's been 11 years since its inception. There's no way he spends less than.
Hang on, we said 11 years. I'm confused. Where'd you get that number?
How the quick action closing fund since its inception?
2007. I say. All right, you're doing math. I'm sorry, I didn't.
There's no way he only spends like 10 million. There's no way he only spends less than 10 million a year in the quick action closing fund. So I'm going with 176.
All right,
million on this one. There's no way.
Okay, that's good. Question number 7. Let me get that out of there. Question number 7. How much money did the American Taekwondo Association receive from Governor Asa Hutchinson's Quick Action Closing Fund for a new headquarters in Little Rock? $25,000, $250,000, or $950,000?
Trying to remember.
This was to build a dojo.
Yeah, I thought it was $250,000. I'm pretty sure it's $250,000 if I remember correctly.
Well,
yeah, I'm going to go with my original gut instinct.
Going with your gut. $250,000. Okay, all right. We'll see what happens there. American Taekwondo Association. Now, if you have not already subscribed to receive Conduit for Action emails, you may do so. You can also go to conduitnews.com and receive Conduit News updates. We would encourage you to do that as well. Also, put your name and town in, and then here we go.
I was not expecting to get on this one.
Joe makes
I missed 3 questions.
Joe gets 4 out of 7 for a score of 57%.
To be honest,
he got, what is that? An F.
That's an F.
That is an F.
I'm going to be honest.
And you're so close.
I'm going to be honest. I did so much better than I thought I was going to do.
D.
When I started reading these questions.
D plus. I'm going to graduate. Not Joe. Joe got an F plus. Okay. So sorry.
It was parking lot pay. No, it was energy efficiency improvements.
Okay.
Yeah, parking lots.
So let's go. The question you missed, what was the purpose of the $275,000 that Ben E. Keith Foods in North Little Rock received from Governor Asa Hutchinson's Quick Action Closing Fund?
See, energy
efficiency was what the correct answer was. You chose parking lot paving. I feel like I kind of nudged you to pick parking lot paving. That's what I would.
So what you should do is you should give me that.
Well, I'm not responsible.
Or you should give me half credit.
Yeah.
So if you give me half credit, then that puts
energy
me
efficiency.
It gives me a D.
I'm glad though that you were on the side of wanting to. I'm glad that we got to do a Dan Douglas bit there. That was totally organic, by the way. You also missed question number 3.
How did I miss this one?
Now, this is totally
Jake Files is his best friend.
This is totally reasonable that you would miss this. I would have probably picked FFH Construction. Which company in Fort Smith received $2 million from the governor's Quick Action Closing Fund for site preparation and construction? It was actually ArcBest Corporation, not FFH Construction.
I had no idea what ArcBest was.
Yeah. Scrolling down, you see question 4 you got right. It was $144,000 to subsidize a film project. It was all of the above. $2 million has gone to Glatfelter, Big River Steel, and Remington. Then we have $176 million going has been spent out of this fund since 2007. Another question you missed, though,
I
here.
I really wanted to put
I knew you were wrong on this one because I had this figure memorized. $950,000 is the correct answer. That's how much Asa Hutchinson gave the American Taekwondo Association to build a dojo.
I wanted to pick that one.
So that they could have, conventions there and everything else.
I really wanted to pick that one, but for some reason, my mind just kept going $250,000.
I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, but during elections, during campaign season, the reason he went with $950,000 instead of $250,000 is because people, when they voted for Asa, I don't know if you remember this, at the rallies, at the speeches, they were wanting karate rights. They were wanting really just martial art.
You mean
they
karate?
They were wanting martial arts appreciation and equality, and that's what the election was about. And it's always been a big issue, and that's why the governor went ahead and fulfilled his campaign promise and gave the American Taekwondo Association $950,000. And the voters are so thrilled about this because it's a huge priority. Everybody went to the polls and voted for Republicans so that they would pick winners and losers. Specifically, they wanted martial arts equality and that sort of thing. So we're going to take a break, but if you want more information on this, always go to conduitforaction.org. Check out their amazing articles. Subscribe to their email list so you don't have to go to the website every day. You'll just get an email every time there's a new article. New article up right now, as a matter of fact. We'll get to